terror.
What's up YouTube, Mr. Llama here, and today we're going to be doing part Hell of the Light Sorceress. This is the Let's Play guided playthrough through Hell. So we've done Normal and Nightmare so far. We just stuck with Nova the entire way. If you wanted to be Lightning or something like that, you totally could as well. Remember, like, this is a guided playthrough, loose playthrough, whatever it is. You can, of course, interpret it however you'd like, change however you'd like, do whatever pieces, all of that. But we've stuck with Nova right now, and we are currently level 58. And again, you could be a little bit lower level if you want going into Hell, or you could be a higher level going into Hell. You can go up to 60, 70, all of that, really, especially if you're doing Players 8 Bale Waves. You can gain multiple levels at a time right there, especially in the 50s, even in your 60s, and, you know, do 5, 6, 7 Players 8 Bale Waves, and you'll be high level 60s, closing in on 70. So it's a great, easy way to get yourself more experience there. Of course, you could also do the Eldritch farm for a bit. And yeah, so it really just depends however you want to do it. But go as, be as risky or risk averse as you would like. So here is currently where we are at. I'm at 45 strength still. I haven't found anything that's enticed me to go up a little higher. I would say 60 strength isn't terrible because you can find yourself some nice plated belts. So you can look for some like really nice plated belts with a lot of stuff in Hell right there. But we can also continue farming in Nightmare for some belts that'll give us like a bunch of life and whatever. You can also, of course, look at, you know, gloves and stuff. Nothing in dexterity, everything else in vitality, and just our base plus some in energy. It's at 50 right now. For our skills, we are 1-1, nothing here, and then 1-1, max, and starting to max static field. So we're 1 point away from maxing static field. Once we have that done, Nova will be completely maxed, and we could start looking at maybe going into energy shield if we want, or we could start trying to look at placing points down into like frozen orb or something. Now, I don't plan on getting a lot more skills at this point. I think I'll probably end this in the mid 60s. So that won't really be enough to do anything with like 1 point in Frozen Orb, 1 in Cold Mastery or anything. I imagine I'll come back and respec at some point. Now, some people will ask, why not a single point in Warmth? You can have it there. At this point, it's still not really a ton of value because I don't have a lot of plus to skills. So plus 3 to skills, it'll be like, what, like 45, 50% or something. Mana recovery rate, and that'll generate a tiny bit of mana, but it really just doesn't end up boosting it a lot. Like I say, once we get all of the points maxed of the damage and stuff, putting a single point there I think is like totally fine, but it's generally not that great of a skill until you really start to stack up your plus to skills gear here. Now, if you've gone Lightning with this build, of course, you will just be able to continue dumping points into Charge Bolt, into Chain Lightning, into Lightning Mastery. You have all of those skills there, and even Nova later, to max out to continue that damage. So Lightning does have a little bit more of the, as you continue to gain skills, you'll continue to improve there. So immunities, of course, now really start to play a part. I'm also going to make sure I go down to Players 1. Really start to play a part here. The nice thing is the Den of Evil has cold immune and fire immune. It does not have light immune. The only light immune that you'll potentially end up getting, or difficult lightning monster to kill, is of course going to be Corpse Fire at the end. So, similar to how we did in Nightmare, we can really quickly bounce over to here and just see if he spawns with it. And he does not spawn Lightning Enchanted. So we can bounce in here, and we even have this lower res one still. And I'll do a quick gear check actually as well. Spirit Sword, Lore, 60 to life, Ancient's Pledge, Stealth, Hit Recovery, Fire Res, 10 FCR, 30 Cold Res, and Sorceress for the fast run walk and Fire Res. Life, MF, Hit Recovery Mana, Res, Life. right? So you can see that we're really just trying to stack and get our resistances in the positives. All of this has it in the positives. However, there probably is a little bit more that can be done there. I can sack my points in whatchamacallit. I can sack some of this life that I gained from this amulet to stack up a little bit more again with some of my res gear. And I'll probably end up doing that here, as 60 life is very nice, but when my resistances can be, you know, another like 50, 60 ahead, that's going to end up being better. So we'll do that when we go back to the stash. I also have the ability to make a smoke, as I did find a lum rune from my Nightmare Forge. So we can do that. Of course, that does drop us down a breakpoint, which I don't really like a lot. That would be 50 all res though, and again, would be very nice. So I'd be on the 37 FCR breakpoint. I would love if I could get up one more breakpoint, or be on that 63 still, but may just not be possible. We'll just have to see.
Has been purged of evil.
Yeah, FHR is useful for when you're teleporting around, just a little bit of safety. So we get that skill point, and I'll show you. So this now puts us at 66% actually, but like I'll take it out to the cold plains, and this is the regen level of warmth. It's just so long, you know. And you can say over the long run, it still ends up being some mana, and that is true. But it just doesn't move very quickly at this point. Yeah, if I could get like a Suicide Branch or a Whiz Pike or something like that, that would help with swapping out there. Now, of course, I would lose the plus to skills and hit recovery and stuff, but how much is your low rune worth? It is worth low rune. It's really hard to say with all of that, you know, because that's just hard to say.
Moo.
Okay, so we got our plus skill. We can continue forward. You actually can do tower on this character as well.
It's enchant sork time, or I'm watching the wrong streamer. Love from Italy.
Yeah, not enchant sork time.
Moo.
Now, you will run into these situations where you say, Mr. Llama, I've run into these lightning immunes here. And I mean, you can do this if you would like. But even that, look at how hard it is to actually do damage to these guys. You're like, how do I kill these skeletons? I use lower res on them, and I try and static and Nova, and nothing kills them. And the proper answer is you don't. You just leave them alone. If you do not like that answer, the second answer is you run dual spec, and this is where you would run like Nova plus Hydra, or Lightning Hydra, or Lightning Orb, or Nova Orb, something along those lines. Ooh, 79 to mana on that. I almost want to sack that MF that I have there, or not MF, the whatever. But now I'll show you the shift out. So here I take my 60 life, and this is 10 FCR, 38 cold res, which means I can lose this piece, which means I can then either gain 15 light res from this ring, or 18 fire res, or I could gain 7 light res and 79 mana, which I kind of like that the most. So now my resistances go up a little bit. We did lose a little bit of life, but I've gained a lot of mana and 7 more light res there. And of course I could put on, you know, 18 fire res if I wanted, or, you know, I don't need that one, or the 15 light res right there. So it just kind of gives some potential options.
Join my army of the dead.
Wear energy shield.
And we could look into, you know, pushing for energy shield after this. I think that especially could be something we look at.
I can't carry anymore.
in a bit, because Nova's about to max out. So, just a nice thing that we could do there. Again, kill whatever, as much or as little as you would like. If you're feeling like, hey, I want to kill all these champions and everything I'm fighting along the way, totally possible and viable, and a great way to get a little bit more experience. Bender! Thank you, buddy. How you doing? How's the speedruns going?
Ooh.
I liked killing.
Yeah, if you like killing, feel free to kill. But remember, you want to find waypoints here. And then, like I say, you actually can do tower on this character, which is a nice little part. Where's this waypoint? Maybe down in this corner? Yeah. Thanks, Drunk. Good to see ya.
This place holds many secrets. Join my army of the dead.
Thanks. I wanted to see you do a guided playthrough build with energy shield for some time.
For sure. And I'm totally down to show off the, ouch. Benefits of that. Also, being in hell,
Impossible.
you can die easily. No, also being in hell, I wanted to show, or say, getting full rejubes is going to be a lot better than getting,
Ooh.
I hope the Maoms arrived in the end. Have
Plain
a nice
rejubes.
stream, Llama. Mr. Llama Love.
So this is where I like to start morphing them up, and we'll do that shortly. But this is our final point, so we're now maxed on static. Thank you, Lily. And we can now start towards, you know, moving forward if we want. But again, feel free to be down here and kill as much or as little as you would want. And again, we don't even technically really need to be doing this stuff. We pretty much have the runes of what we would like. But this is still good experience if you want to get some experience down here. Still definitely nice to get experience here. Plus, it can be... Ooh, careful there. It can be a great place to really find some cool runes. You can find Ist runes, Mal runes, poles, those sorts of things. Maybe we can like try and get enlightenment or something. That'd be kind of fun, right? So lots of fun stuff you can still do with this. And like I say, this is really the only sorceress, like a light sorceress, that effectively can do Countess unless she has a good mercenary. And there's a Lum rune again. We can make Splendor and Smoke. How about that? Ooh, nice only one. I'll go like this. And I do think a better belt would be good because I don't actually need a lot more hit recovery. I actually have a ton, so I'm in a pretty good position. Also, you'll notice I have tons and tons of like topaz, and this is if I wanted to get into the magic finding section of this. Personally, I don't feel like it's 100% needed. Man, what a... 2 shrines right next to tower. I don't, want to get into the like 100% whatever, but I might stop and do a tiny bit of it because I know a lot of people like it. So we can maybe do a couple runs.
Monastery.
Splendor has +1 skills, 10 FCR, which is kind of nice. Ooh, foul rune right there as well. But you lose all the resistances that you get. However, if that 10 FCR could get us enough so we could also run smoke, then we could gain 50 all res and then lose 43 essentially, and we could still maybe come out ahead and all of this. So this is again one of my favorite parts of the gearing in Diablo 2, which a lot of people are like, just make it simple, give me green arrow, and for those people I say, hey, there's lots of green arrow games that exist. But it's one of the things that I really appreciate and enjoy about Diablo 2 is you get to constantly, as you're playing through the game, adjust. Constantly try and figure out, okay, what's going to be the best thing here and how can I adjust it and all of this. So let's go take a look right now at where we're at. We are at 70 FCR, and I can go up to 80 FCR with this ring. So I can go to 80 FCR. So if I drop this, I can actually go to 90 FCR, which then, with Splendor, which then minus the 25 of stealth puts us at 65. So we're still at the 63 breakpoint, which means I can run smoke. So we can do it. So let's do it. Let's have some fun. So we'll go to normal. And we will shop for a 2 open socket armor and a 2 open socket shield. I'll probably get a bone shield for that. Let's go ahead and shop the armor here. Okay, so we'll do that. Ooh, let's get the higher defense one. So we can do Neff, Lum, and make a smoke armor, which gives us the 50 all res, 10 to energy, and still 20 hit recovery, which is nice. And then we'll go to Act 2. 4 more defense, I know. I just like that armor look a little better. And we can look for a 2 open socket bone shield if we'd like. Now, of course, we do lose a little bit of fast run walk, but we can also look to try and solve that if we would like. So we'll show that in a second as well.
Ask and learn.
Okay, I'm actually gonna really quickly swap these so I just have the fast run walk for shopping purposes. I wish I had a top right exit on Drognin. It would be a little bit easier, but I'm expecting in the amount of time it would take of resetting the map and getting back up here and all of this, that I would just find a 2 open socket bone shield. Now, of course, you can put it in whatever shields you want, but thanks, Prof. Oh, really? I want to do it this way. And this is kind of a fun... Again, it's like the fun of this game is... Okay, it requires like a double telekinesis from this direction, maybe.
Approach and let's trade.
Bone Shield has slightly better blocking. It doesn't have to be a bone shield. We could put it in whatever we wanted.
Greetings.
Yeah, that's weird.
Ask and learn.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so we got our 2 open socket shield. And we want to make Splendor. And so we do Eth rune plus Lum rune. And now we have Splendor. Plus 1 to all skills, 10 FCR, 10 energy. It also has some magic find on it, whatever, right? And like I say, this is crazy because this is nothing that I would normally be rocking at all. But we found 2 Lum runes. So we have now, if we look, 55 FCR, and after this ring, which unfortunately we'll have to sack that ring for now, we now have the 65 FCR, which gets us to the 63. I have way too much hit recovery, you know, but that's where I can also change out the belt for something a little better. And this is where I'd like to go to Nightmare. Yeah, we're like crushing we're at the 86 breakpoint, which is insane right now. So this is where I can look for faster stuff, but I can also look for just a belt that's like 49 to life or something, right? Now, I would like to find a slightly, like a Demon Hide Sash or something, personally.
Good day.
But we can look for something nice there. We can also look to make,
Hi there.
like, craft an FCR belt if we wanted. If I find a shark skin belt here, we can try and craft on that. So if you see any shark skin belt, let me know. Actually, I should probably just look at it. Look for it. And I'm looking for faster run walk boots that also have resistances. Which is a little bit harder shop, but sometimes you can get like 30 or 40s with something decent like, you know, 39 cold res or whatever.
Good day.
And still, of course, looking for gloves, even though we do have Irathas, which are nice with the 30 cold res there. 32 to life. Crazy learning curve for gear.
Hello.
It's not really, I would say. There we go. There's a shark skin belt. Oh, there we go. 20 fast run walk with 24 light res. It's basically the exact same thing as Sorceress, but it gives us the option now if we want light or fire res. If those were 40s, I'd be super happy. Okay, so do we have... We do not, but we can go now to Hell. There's a lot of small things that we can do here. And I need to go to the Stony Field. Because if I can roll an 8 FCR belt, then that'll actually solve some of my issues as well. And I'm looking for a gem shrine, and I'll teach you guys about this in a second. Oh, there it is. Well, that was a freebie.
Impossible.
Stony Field is actually one of the best places to find gem shrines. As you can see, 2 gem shrines in a row. They're not that guaranteed. That's just kind of wild. I wish I had another flawless amethyst. Don't even have one to steal over. I guess I'll just do this. That's crazy. So yeah, they're the best place to find gem shrines. Don't you dare be gem. I was gonna lose my mind if that was a gem shrine. So you can just get the waypoint and then just reset and run through all the gem shrines or all the shrines. And if you find a gem shrine, it will take one of the gems in your inventory and upgrade it. So if you only have a single flawless amethyst in your inventory, it will take that and upgrade that amethyst. Okay, so we do this and jewel. Do I not have any jewels I've saved? I don't have any jewels. It's my bad. Make sure you save jewels. I can always run around here. A great way to go get fast jewels is just go players 8 in the Nightmare Kurast and just pop all of the chests. Skeletons, all these things. And then, of course, if you go to the super chest, you can also do that. It's also a great place to get runes and charms and all sorts of things as well. So we can look for, you know, those things as well. But I'm just kind of looking around right now, seeing what we have. So many logs and all sorts of stuff. And players 8, of course, is, or players 7 would work. It's the exact same thing.
Impossible.
Give me jewels.
Not enough mana.
Edge bow. And where is our, there it is. So these are gonna be really like
Not enough mana.
your best places for jewels is those. And there we go, we get ourselves a jewel
I can.
easily. Okay, so we have the shark skin belt, the perfect amethyst, an ithrune, and a jewel, and this will transmute. Eyo, we got it. So we got ourselves our 9 FCR belt, 13 to mana, 12 fire res. Nice little added bonus. And 1 to assassin skills, 61 to life. Oh, if only this was source skills. That'd been so good. Which means now we can get rid of this FCR ring. So we can put on either another ring with resistances, or I can do this one with the 7 res and the 79 to mana. And of course, we are at 64 FCR, which is still above the 63 breakpoint. So you just have to meet it, be at or above, and you're good. Perfect. And with all of that, we can now go to hell and take a look at everything. 30 fire res, 22 light res, 45 cold res. So our resistances have gone up some. We've gotten another +1 to all skills because we have this splendor. Our mana is a little bit higher. Our life is a tiny bit higher. It's been a whole thing. A little bit, Geeb. I'm up at 1900 now. Chris, thank you. And of course, if we wanted like more light res over fire res, or if we wanted to, you know, I'll take this ring and do whatever, we can do those things. Now, we could also do something. Let's say, I really want fire res, right? I could grab this perfect ruby. I could grab a magic ring. Let's just, you know, use this one for example. And then I could grab an exploding potion, which I would need to go find. And I could actually use that. So here's some really quick recipes. You can make a poison res ring, a fire res ring, a lightning res ring, and a cold res ring just by doing that. So this is a great, easy way to get 21 to 30 of any specific resistance, and it just takes Magic Ring plus Perfect Topaz plus Rejuve, Exploding, Thawing, and Antidote Potion. So really, only the Garnet Potion is kind of the tough one. Oh, ignore the RMT advertisements there. And then, of course, you can also do these sorts of things, right? We could try and, like, get this, which will have plus to life on it. If we want to roll it right here, we could get plus to mana. Right here, we can get damage reduction. You know, there's a variety of different stuff that you can get from these, but that is just the general recipes. There's a lot of little recipes like that that are super nice. Also, if you take one of every perfect gem minus a perfect skull and cube it together with an amulet, you'll get an amulet with all resistances on it, which is really nice. So,
Not in town.
another fun little helpful tip. That being said, let's continue this game. We've done enough dilly-dallying here. But, like I said, that to me is a fun part of the game. Figuring out all of the... Oh, we're still on Players 8. Figuring out all of the little ways to, you know, maximize the character with whatever we have at the time, which is sometimes silly, right? Sometimes it's like, oh, we'll make a splendor and a smoke. When do you ever get to make splendor? You never do, but in this case, we got to, which is really nice. And a lot of that comes because I was able to roll the plus the 35 FCR on Spirit. If I didn't have that, I still maybe could, but then I'd have to use the 10 FCR ring as well with it, right? I mean, there's just, you know, a multitude of that stuff. So, Hell Andariel is a fabulous place for farming. Highly recommend grabbing this waypoint right here. And again, like I said before, at this point I also like to cube all my juves to full rejuves. Oops. So you can just take 3, cube them, 3, cube them, 1, 2, 3, cube them. Just because 35%ers are okay, but these are much more helpful being full rejuve at this point. So we've got 3 perfects right there, which is nice. Thanks, Team Chaos. And let's continue down here. Oof. A lot of stuff we could dive on there if we want. It's a lot of fire damage. Okay. I'm just gonna say nah. A little too much for me right there. A little too scary. I only have 30 fire res. I definitely would want like 50 fire res minimum for fighting like that. But now, of course, we can come up. We have our lower res. Static her down to half. And just go for some kills. And of course, I do have a little bit of Magic Find right now with that 20 MF on Splendor and things of that nature. However, if I really wanted to stack up Magic Find, what I could do is I could get myself 3 open socket, 4 open socket armors. And then swap them on right before the kill. Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Evil queen has fallen.
And you can just farm, you can just farm, you know? We'll go to 50 strength, and now we just need 2 more levels, and we can use Shaco. I mean, there's not a lot to say about that. Also great item for Magic Finding. But like I was saying, you can literally take all these topaz. This is why I was saving all these topaz. I could take all of this right here and just put it in helm, armor, whatever it is, and just add up and have a nice like additional 100, you know, 120, 130 MF just from that. And you can go kill Andariel over and over again, and you'll find lots of really nice things from Andariel. Such as, I don't know, Shaco. Could be one of the nice items that you find. Wow. And just like that, Act 1 is done, and you have a Shaco. Give yourselves a clap. I mean, I'm going to go back to Nightmare right now. Go to players. I guess we'll just do players 1 really quickly. And just like go level to 62. Because again, you can kind of, this is the beauty of these, right? The beauty is you can change up how you're playing, have some fun, do whatever. You find a really good drop like that and you're just not quite the level you need, yeah, go farm it, right? Wow. Never lucky. Ooh, that poison damage. We'll go players 8 as well.
Hello.
Oh my god. This is offline, yes. Get a whiz pike next? I wouldn't hate it. dexterity. No, thank you. I'll go down to players 3 for this wave. We'll make sure to lower resist here. Level 61.
See you in hell.
Miami Mix! Go back to players 8. We have 2 skill points, so I'm actually going to start working towards energy shield. And we don't need any more strength. Drop a lower resist on everybody.
Ooh.
Thank you, Nico. We just found Shaco on our guided playthrough. It's a first for guided playthroughs, I'm pretty sure. Again, drop some lower res. And level 62. Nice and easy. And there we go. Now we've got Shaco. How easy was that? So we get the additional skills, the little attributes, the 93 to life and mana, which are great. The damage reduced by 10%, super helpful. And 50% magic find. All super wonderful. And I'll also go ahead and add sockets to it because, well, it's a Shaco. That's going to be best in slot. So now I could decide, do I want more magic find? Do I want more life? I could put this, you know, ruby in it for a little more life if we wanted. Do I want more resistances? Go for like 30 fire res from that, and that would help boost it. Light res, whatever. Because we do lose the 30% light res from lore. So if we go over to hell now,
I'm not sure Shaco really exists.
you know.
Cal runs, Andariel runs, Council runs, and I've still never seen one.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and put a lore into it right now for the 30 light res. Or not a lore, an ort. Just for the 30 light res. And we can always hell that out later on when I have more resistances. But right now I don't really want to run around with negative light res. Just seems too dangerous for me. So can just do that. And of course, like we said,
Thanks,
we're
Daddy
in Act
Bazis.
2
Guys, remember
now.
to sub with you Amazon Prime. It's free. Why not play Diablo Immoral? Do you not have a credit card? Haha.
Can you unsuck it later? Yes. I can use a Hell Rune plus a Scroll of TP and then whatever item, and it'll unsocket that item. I don't get the Ort Rune back, but I don't care to get the Ort Rune back. That's not like a crazy rune that I need back, you know. Thanks to Flaw. So just a nice, easy way to kind of use that. We can check out the Demonite Sash. 33 to life on a Demonite Sash is actually pretty nice. I'd have to take a look and consider if I want 33 life. But right now I still get 13 to mana, 12 fire res, and then plus the 79 mana, 4 life, 7 light res from the ring. So it probably is still better to just run without it. But this would be a great belt otherwise if I hadn't, you know, rolled my build all around like this. Thanks, Quasi.
I can't carry anymore.
And if I do want, I have to be a little careful out here, but there's a lot of lightning immunes in the Far Oasis. I wouldn't really kill a lot of stuff out here. If I do want, though, of course, I could still move stuff around to get even more resistances. Thanks, Frost. Let me see if I can find that hole. Oh, there it is up there. That's right. Right, so I could swap a 10 FCR ring onto this, and then I would drop this +1 skill and 10 energy, and I could put the Ancient's Pledge back on and bring myself up to pretty much max resistances. So I would lose +1 skill, but I would gain max res, which would be really nice. Potentially worth it. Spirit Shield is... It does cost a ton of strength. It would still be super nice, but I would need to have all of the strength for it, plus a Monarch Shield, plus a socket quest, which I don't have anymore because I socketed the Shaco. So.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh no. Okay. So we'll just go grab the staff right there. And yeah, you just really want to be careful when there's like beetles and things like this around right now, because again, our build isn't built for those. We are doing lightning damage here and pretty much sticking soul on lightning at the moment. If I were going to swap and do like a dual spec build right now, I would probably be max Nova with like 15 points into lightning mastery, and then max Frozen Orb or max Hydra with like 15 points into Fire Mastery or Cold Mastery, right? So I would run something along those lines. The problem is Nova would definitely take a lot longer. I would still have the lower resistances, which would be nice, but I would be much less powerful there, and I would almost be playing more of like a Frozen Orb build with a secondary of Nova, I would feel like. So, go ahead and go to the Valley of Snakes. And we actually can kill stuff down here if we want. We do have to just be careful, make sure stuff doesn't get too close to us. Especially when there's fanaticism. Really try and keep them kind of far away here. Because snakes will have that diving attack, so make sure your frozen armor is on as well if you are going to teleport around. But we can slow play it down here. That totally works and is totally fine as well.
Who would have thought that such primitive beings...
Additionally, if you just want a little experience, you can just stay up here and kill some snakies, as the snakes are too fat to come up the ramp. Yeah, their charge always hits. There's no hit check on it.
Allow me to advise.
Okay. So we got our pieces. I don't care to kill the actual elite mob because he's lightning enchanted. And I do lightning damage. But killing all of his minions still gives plenty of experience. And as I've said before, you can kind of decide what you want to stop and fight versus not. Like, trying to fight archers in these tight areas is pretty difficult. However, fighting Fire Eye over here,
I can't.
not as bad generally. He's a little bit fast, which can be annoying. If there's a mix now of all these other guys here with the archers, I'm going to kind of use the terrain to my advantage. I do like that Thul rune. Go ahead and grab that. And he's magic resistant and stuff. With those guys around, just going to be a little too annoying. You should be able to easily teleport through this area, as none of the monsters in here will really be able to catch you, especially if you're on that 63 breakpoint. So you should be able to teleport without getting hit. However, another area where, one, you can pretty much kill everything. Nothing really has the immunities, so if you want to slow walk it, you can totally do that. Just be careful of the fire damage from these lords. And then also you can get good runes from the specters here. They have better rune drops. Kill Mr. Summoner. There's another Flawless Amethyst. We like that because, of course, we can use that for potentially, if we get another Gem Shrine later, we want to craft ourselves an FCR Amulet, maybe. I mean, we have one, but try for another one. That could work as well. So, just some thoughts and ideas we can have. And we've leveled up one more time. So I'm actually going to go over here and do this. And so now we have a point in energy shield. And we can just see how it kind of works. I think it'll actually be pretty nice and pretty helpful. And again, if I want, I can actually run like this, sack the +1 to skill, but then go for the big boost. Where's that FCR ring? There it is. So we sack a little bit, but now our resistances are 75, 75, 63, which is really, really big. So I can really start to kind of like tank up here. And again, a lightning enchant. We actually can kill right there. Also, another soul rune is nice. If I did want to run with a mercenary, it'd still be difficult. Mercenaries are very fragile, but we could go ahead and do it still and be okay. And you can see with our resistances being maxed now as well for fire and cold, it definitely helps for like the fire damage that we're taking from all these ghoul lords. Way less concern.
Not enough mana.
And kind of play a little more aggressive, which I do think is very helpful for Nova. Now, we do lose that +1 to skill, which is a little sad. It was fun using the Splendor while we did. I'm happy we got to make it, but you know, ultimately. And this is also a decent character here when you get the right spawns. If you do get like a, you know, if you get a bad spawn like beetles and stuff, you may have to be a little bit more careful. But we've got all that. I have 75 cold res. If your resistances aren't good right now, then you can definitely do chug thawing
Spending
potions.
those Bezos bucks again. Really appreciate your content and your recent Amor T.L. videos.
Yeah.
Regards from Germany.
Appreciate that, Zigor. And you can see how much benefit we are actually getting from Energy Shield here. Definitely helping out.
I need mana.
Tank his hits. Keep the lower res going. We definitely still don't have the best boss killer. That is, you know, the one thing still about this build.
Not enough mana.
It is a little bit slower compared to a lot of the other Sorceress builds in that regard. But it does okay still. It's not like end of the world.
I need mana.
And a couple Twisted Essences right there,
I am overburdened.
if we're interested in those. I do not recommend farming Andariel.
Diablo and
He
Bane
has
have
just
it
pretty terrible drops overall. Even though his loot table isn't bad, he ends up just being bad. And more Topaz if we ever wanted to do stuff with that. We could also craft a blood ring now because we have the soul rune. So we could grab, if we wanted to do that, try and get FCR
Can I
plus
give myself the clap now?
Good day.
see whatever rolls on it, you know. Maybe we find a blue ring, we'll do that. And yes, Act 2 is done. Give yourselves the clap, everybody. Give yourselves the clap. GG. So it is Act 3 time. Now, Act 3 is generally a pretty scary place, as there can be a lot of lightning immunes. So a lot of times here, you're either running A, that dual spec where you have that frozen orb or whatever it is, or B, you are just teleporting past. Because again, all these cloud stalkers are lightning immune. All these, you know, froggy dudes, whatever they are lightning. And the jungle hunters are lightning immune. You're going to have a lot of little shooters and stuff that'll be lightning immune. So I'm generally trying to avoid. But if I do run that dual spec, if I do have that plus to cold damage or fire damage, the hydras, whatever, I can still slow play it there and have it be effective. And Sark is going to be a giant pain per usual. And so in areas like this, especially when we get
I can't carry anymore. I can't.
curse, we have to be very careful. And this is where the constant Nova can be really nice for just keeping them locked up. Which is why I still do like Nova right here. Right? Like, there's definitely some advantages that you'll have from not being Nova at this point. From being in lightning and stuff, you can be a little more distant and such. But I do like the fact of being able to keep that distance. Now, it looks like I did not get a skip to the Flare Jungle, so I'm gonna have to go find it myself. Again, if you want to kill mobs on the way, you're totally entitled to do that. If you just want to teleport all the way through to the Flare Jungle, you're also allowed to do that. And the Flare Jungle is going to have a mix of lightning or cold immunes, depending what you spawn generally. So, can be a little bit scary. 105 is the breakpoint that I think is generally the most preferred to go after, but it can be a tough one to get.
Not enough mana.
You have to generally get, if you're doing a solo playthrough like this, you're generally going to have to get something like, you know, a really nice spirit and or, ooh, 34 to life is nice. But we'd have to lose that FCR and swap all around, and I don't want to do that. 117 is if you're using lightning. We'll talk about that actually in a second. So, yeah, it's what was I saying with it? Getting to 105 is hard. You'll usually need like Wizard's Pike or Suicide Branch or something like that to get there, because, you know, you're generally not finding like a Spirit Shield as well. If you find a Spirit Shield, you can have Spirit Shield plus Spirit Sword plus like Stealth and whatever, and you can get there. I mean, I have 35. I could go 45, 55, 60, 69, 79, 89, 99, and with Splendor, I could be at 109. So I could get there technically, but I would be sacking Smoke and Ancient's Pledge, and my resistances would be in the negatives. So it's like, you know, that's pretty tough right there. Wiz Pike is really nice, yeah. Spectral Shard is also not terrible to find. This is also true. So if you do get all cold immunes out here, it can be really nice for farming. A little dangerous, but still decently nice. If you do not, pretty much always avoid and just try and run through. Gonna be the recommendation. And again, can kill some stuff if you want, and then power through the rest. Now, if you really want to find more runes, gems, all of this stuff, again, we're in the Lower Kurast, and hell, Lower Kurast is quite a place to be. This is the best rune finding place up to Burrune in the game. So, highly recommended. If you want Sur runes, if you want Lo, Om, Mal, Bur, whatever. That was nasty. I'm just gonna teleport actually through here, because forget that noise. Trav is not better. Travancore will give you some other things as well, but it is, I don't even think, half as fast in getting your like burr rune and stuff.
Good day.
LK is insanely fast. Even online, LK is still the fastest, which is crazy. So you can go to players 8 or players 7, and again, you can just come around and pop everything if you want to pop all consumables. Just looking for, you know, all sorts of gems and jewels and that stuff. Or you can just look for the fires and do the LK runs where you pop these things. Great way to also get some money. Let's grab the flawless amethyst.
I need a key.
Yeah, we don't have a key there, but whatever. You can get up to 2 of these fires. Looks like we only have 1. Totally fine. I'm not going to do a bunch of LK runs here, but just a place where, oh, you really want to get that Vex rune for Hodo? Go to a few hours of LK runs. Should be able to find one. And I have videos on how to do LK runs just to like speed it up and all of that. Though I actually think I do need to remake for D2R, but maybe with the load screens it's back to that way. It's kind of hard to say. Probably still is best to just quit and then go back in. But also, like I say, a great place to really get a lot of charms and stuff. So if you want to find some charms with plus to life, plus resistances, a great way to kind of top out your character. If I'm on hardcore and I'm really trying to slow play and do that stuff, LK runs are a fabulous way to do that for sure. Okay, Travancore will be potentially kind of tough. The best thing I can say is really try and space them out. So here, you're going to have your fire immune and your non-fire immune, your light immunes. There's kind of 2 sections that you're going to have for them. So if you can bring these guys away, you can kill them separately. And then you don't have to deal with the light immune guys. You can just figure that out later, right?
Impossible.
Grab the flail. And we'll go ahead and swap it on the main here. And you can actually also, as I've said before, telekinesis this orb, which is a great way to avoid having to actually get in there and do the slow swings on it, right? I'd be dead if I had tried to do that. Check out this mithril coil, 27 to life on it, 17 hit recovery, very nice, but 106 strength, not near as nice. We'll also do that. And another skill point. So I'm actually not going to continue into Energy Shield. I can go a point into Thunderstorm if we'd like. It's not really amazing, but like, hey, why not? Little bit of added damage, 419 to 1431. If I do want to continue shoving points, though, I'll actually put them in Telekinesis, as that'll be better for Energy Shield. But like I say, we can go Thunderstorm here. And let me see if I have... I do have that hotkey. Perfect. And here you can see that's the lightning enchanted set of them all. So I also want to be extremely careful in here, just because dolls are pretty awful. But I will highly recommend getting this waypoint. This is the best farming spot probably in the game for when you're just trying to gear up your character. Andariel is also amazing. Mephisto has a slightly better loot table. So, and you can also see how big our static is, the range on it. It basically just gets the whole screen, which is really nice. So we can actually come over here and work on clearing out all of the mobs here. And drop a lower res. And this is very dangerous. This is a pretty nasty spawn we've got right here with this boss group, and he's also lightning enchanted. It's lovely. So we'll see if we can kind of get Mephisto off of that. We have Mayford Dragonhand, who's lightning immune. So we need to get Mephisto kind of separated here. This is a pretty nasty spawn. And this is one where you could also totally just say, this is so bad, I'm just going to reset it. 1000% okay to just go like, this is just too awful, you know? There's the lightning enchanted boss right there that's following him around, and it's just really gross. I've got that waypoint. I can just go right back into it and save yourself the time and the death that potentially will come and all of that stuff. Let's just go back. We have a perfect layout right here, so it's not even a long teleport time back in. And this time we still have a boss up above, so we just have to be careful there not to go too close to that.
Move.
Tie for all the guides and streams.
Of course. The charged bolt attack is still the scariest, but I do have very good resistances right now, as we can see, so I'm not near as worried about all of his attacks. I can kind of take some of the hits if I want and still be okay. If you feel the need to dodge, you can totally dodge there. And I will promise that I will talk about the breakpoints as well, because that is something to discuss. And a swirling crystal, because why not? If only it was unique. But hey, Tau Rasha's if we wanted Tau's piece right there. If it was Oculus, oh, that would have been so nice. Like, I'd still rather have Spirit over having this, even though the plus to life and mana is nice, but we'd lose the FCR and the plus to all skills and all of that. So, yeah, it was quite close. But we do get another Amrune,
What do you need?
which is nice right there. We can keep that if we want. Very close. And that's where if I would have had, like, you know, more topaz, like an armor with 4 open sockets and 4 perfect topaz or 3 flawless and a perfect whatever in it, potentially could have rolled Oculus right there. So, anyways, breakpoints. Let's go over here really fast. So if we go to the Sorceress and go to Lightning Sorceress, there's something specific right here to note about breakpoints, and it is this. For faster cast rate, only for lightning and chain lightning skills are there different breakpoints from regular. So your teleporting is still going to be on 63, 105, all of this. Your Nova is still going to be on this stuff. However, if you use lightning or chain lightning, you actually have different breakpoints, and you can even see different frames, right? So it's like 13 frames is what I would be shooting at. No, I'd be shooting at 14 frames right now, and that 52% breakpoint, and then 9 frames for teleport and 63, right? So they actually slowed down your lightning and chain lightning breakpoints. So 117 and 78 are going to be the next one. So if you're running lightning, I would maybe look at getting at that 78 if you can. And then you can be on the 63, 78 frame. Or you can, of course, be on the 63, 52, blah, 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 whatever it is. But just something good to note for that. Every other skill of the Sorceress uses the 63 and all of that. Now, the 105, 117 is the ultimate of where you want to get. However, that is the ultimate of where you want to get. You may not be able to get there. We also have souls out here. I do have higher resistances, so I can kind of deal with them, but it's also still very scary. Even maxed out res souls are still quite scary. So let's try and find Isual, but we can of course always reset the map if there's a lot of souls around and it's super annoying.
Move.
It looks like we should be able to do it. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Echoins and Blue Star.
Llama, when are you spending 110k to max one character in Diablo Immortal? It's not that much. You can't buy gear anyway, only gems that goes in gear.
Right.
It's not the same thing.
That's a good point. And so like I said, with these next points, I'm going to jam them into telekinesis right here, as that is going to be helpful there. And then we can continue forward. It's a good point. You make a lot of great points here. Chat, can I get a quick loan of 110,000? Okay, so he's immune to physical. We can slow him down. We can lower res him. And we just don't want to get hit. As he'll probably one-tap us is my guess. That Might Aura is very scary. So I kind of want to drag him away to a little bit more of an open area here. And there we go. We got him dragged with us. So again, we can drop his resistances. And slow hit. And just play a little ring around the rosy. Oh, no one tap yet, though the curse will make it tough. There's some chain booties, if we did want to run those. Don't really care for it. If he does spawn lightning enchanted or something of that nature, then again, you can just bounce. Oh. And we can, of course, telekinesis, hit the Hellforge with the hammer.
I bet now you regret getting the new house. That money could have gone to Diablo Immortal.
You're not wrong. And we got a pole rune right there. So he actually could go for enlightenment now if we wanted. Go over the plus to skills. However, we would be sacking 50 all res for it. We'd get 30% fire res back. But pull Ral Soul, 2 to source skills, 30% fire res, damage reduced by 7. Could also save it for a Hodo and do lower Kurast runs if we wanted there. Blah, blah, blah. So for this run, because I am still lacking on my res and such, I will just continue. But it's still good stuff to note, right? It's always good to just keep your options open and just say, I got a pole rune. What does that mean for me? What can I potentially do with that pole rune? And we can take this and do something as such. Do I not have a jewel still? All right, never mind. And when we find a jewel, we'll look at that. But it's time for the Chaos Sanctuary. And this is where we'll have to figure out some solutions. Drop the lower res. That that magic resistant is very annoying.
Not enough mana.
Move.
Thank you, Goldie.
Impossible.
And you can see we are able to break Grand Vizier.
Not enough mana.
So it will just be a bit of a fight there. Oops, forgot to leave a portal. Let's hope we can get in without dying. It wasn't too bad on the way in. For sure, Carlson.
Hail to you, champion.
We'll just get our potions again, rack them up.
Move.
As always, love the content. Light it up today.
Thanks, Limist.
Not enough mana.
And trying to slowly kill some stuff off to get ourselves into a spot where we can fight.
I can't.
Now, this is also where having
Not enough mana. Not enough mana.
these Venom Lords are brutal, man. Let's get a little runaway here and really just try and create some separation and space if we can.
I can't.
Infinity helps? I mean, for show.
Not enough mana.
See how much damage we can actually do to... Kinda tough. Kinda tough. At this point, I would say maybe switching into a dual spec is the right move. We could also go for the mercenary, try and give him like, you know, Relative Tau Soul or something, but I don't have a base for him right now, right? So having a mercenary here would be a little helpful and also still a little bit difficult. You know, because it's just tough overall. But let's go ahead and swap over and take a look at how we want to do this. So first things first, we're just going to get our strength up to use everything. I feel good on my mana now where I don't need to put points in energy. I could run more with energy shield if I want, but I'm probably going to spec out of that. So I'm just going to go into vitality right there. As for skills, we will go for, let's switch over to lightning because a lot of people want to use lightning here, I think. And do we want to do Hydra or do we want to do Orb? What do you guys think? Hydra or Orb? We could use either one. Both will be totally fine. Orb, Orb, Hydra, 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 Orb, 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 Hydra, Hydra, Orb. Man, y'all are... like I said, both work. Okay, we're still gonna get our 1 point in here.
Join my army of the dead.
Hail Hydra.
Well, we're doing lightning. Lightning plus whatever there. All right, let's do Orb. So we'll max orb. And we can put now a few points into cold mastery. Go to like 10. That's minus 65 enemy cold res. Plus our lower resist will get it over 100, which would be really nice. And then we can go back here. And we can, of course, get a point in teleport. A point in static as well. And now we can jam into lightning mastery here for more lightning damage. So we'll kind of mix and match up between lightning, let's do like that, lightning and orb. And again, I'm only level 64. The more skill points that you go and get, the easier this will be for all of that. But now we have this orb to take care of the lightning immunes.
I can't carry anymore.
And we can go for lightning for everything else there. I probably even put slightly too much into cold mastery. Not that I actually put a lot where it's terrible in cold mastery, but just from the idea of if I want to focus more on lightning, then more points into lightning would be better in lightning mastery and synergies. So from a focus perspective, but we're also on the slower points here, which is the tough part. So now an orb playthrough, a little bit. And this is, like I say, I kind of went a little harder on orb than I should have. At the same time, I think it's still good to note that lightning is really one of those abilities that gets a lot stronger as you get a lot more plus to skills. So when it's not maxed out and you don't have a lot of stuff going on with it there, it ends up being pretty weak and having some issues. And the cold is really nice because the cold helps us stay alive, right? So I'm gonna kind of use this just because I like having the freezing of this, and I did go a little bit too hard, but we can still use lightning if we want. We can actually mix and match lightning and orb, because remember, there's no more global cooldowns on stuff. So this is actually something that really helps with a lot of damage.
No.
Thanks for your Diablo Immortal guide on YouTube. After watching it, I finally found out how to spend money. I sold the house, dog, girlfriend and son, got in debt for life, but I can feel I am soon gonna get a 5-star gem.
That's good.
Worth it.
Congrats. And here you can see that the lightning damage is low. It's just the nature of it. It's just the unfortunate nature of it right there. Even if we went everything maxed into it, it would be decent, but then we would have nothing on like the secondary. So we could have run Nova potentially for our secondary, right? Just gone like max Nova, max lightning mastery, and that probably would have been a little bit more efficient. But all's okay there. Really the main thing I need to check is that Desace isn't lightning and cold immune. That would be the biggest issue. And he's cold fire immune, so that's okay. We have lightning, we can deal with him once we kill off some of these baddies right here. So just try and do a little bit of work and clear some stuff out. Gonna be a little slow on that dual spec. And like I say, if you want to run both Frozen Orb and Lightning, totally can. So I'll just kill his minions. sure some people will be upset that this has switched out of lightning here. I apologize. But you can see with the lower resistance, it's actually not terrible damage. I mean, it says Infector. Hey Toshink, how you doing?
I can't.
It's Infector though. Infector's got, he's a pretty tanky boy.
I can't.
Ouch.
Impossible.
And again, another cold fire immune, but not cold light, so we are good to go there. If you do run into a cold light immune and you can't break it and do any damage, honestly, again, like we've talked about before, resetting is just probably the best way to deal with it. Come on. Where's Sace? Okay.
Join my army of the dead.
Isn't this supposed to be lightning? Is this a new cold, blue lightning? Lol.
New lightning. And he's magic resistant as well, so that's going to make it a little harder to kill, but with a little perseverance. Ooh, 23 light, 20 fire res. Jeez. Those gloves are so sick. Let's take off the lower resistance and see where our cold res is at after that. 58%. Yeah, I prefer it. Thanks, SZ. And we're also kind of definitely overstacked on fire now. So I could swap this. I could honestly socket that out, go to Thol Rune, and then be perfectly fine with everything. If we want to just max everything out. 186, 200. Yeah, so here's how we can unsocket the helmet. Hell Rune plus item plus, oops, scroll of TP. Now it's a fresh socket again. Now we swap this over. 73, 75. Ooh, do I want to put that in? I mean, we're at 58 cold res. I could just ruby it. Yeah, we'll put the Thorin in. 73, 75, 75. Works for me. Oops. Let's go kill Mr. Diablo.
Impossible.
And again, we can just go back and forth. And since it's a lightning playthrough, we'll kill him with lightning.
Terror stalks all no more.
And boom! Just like that, Act 4 completed. Red lightning versus blue lightning. That's right. Why'd he start at 30% health? Because I staticked him down. And let's go into act numero 5.
My magic is like the sea.
I hate killing a lot of stuff in the Bloody Foothills. It is very dangerous a lot of times. So we'll go ahead and come up here, and then we can come back.
Move.
And play for this. Thank you, Super. Thank you, SZ. I actually really do like the lightning cold combination. Kind of enjoying it. Definitely with a few more plus to skills, I can see a lot of value from this. And just being a higher level, you know, in general. Oh, that's super nice IPN. I don't even know what the value is on it, but it's really good. Okay, let's go here really fast. Better or worse than Hydra Frozen Orb? I mean, the Hydras are okay in their own right. I slightly made cold a little too dominant in the build. It's my own fault. So it's a little bit of too much cold, but I mean, the lightning is still totally viable with this damage here and helpful and all of that. Still very much used. And this is one of those, he's magic resistant, which is annoying, but we can just lower resist him a little bit and take a little time. Magic res is really annoying.
I can't carry
Perfect.
anymore.
Nice little easy kill. And another place, of course, if we want to level up, we can level up on Eldritch, especially with lower res. Won't be too bad. Can work on player count and stuff, especially if you're more into like the lightning damage there. It especially won't be near as bad. And we'll head over and grab the waypoint here. And if you want, you can do Frozen River as well. Try and go save Anya really quick. If you just want to skip forward, you can do that. Can be a little difficult in hell, but getting the 10 all res is very nice. Now, like I said, on this character, we are already max res pretty much, so won't be near as helpful, but still not terrible. If you get souls down here or something, I recommend just bouncing out, saying no thanks. Thank you, Nade.
I need mana.
And you can telekinesis Anya. If you would like. And if we want to kill these guys, we can with our lightning, or we can just jump past them. And then just go in and save her. Nice and easy. 10 all res, which helps us overstack that. And so now our resistances are full max there. Of course, poison only at 50, but even still, poison at 50 is pretty nice. And we can put the rejuves in and continue forward.
Not enough mana.
I love getting this waypoint here because then I don't feel like I need to rush around to get the Ancients Way waypoint here. Instead, I can just go to the Ancients and be totally fine. Now, Ariat Summit.
The ancients must.
This is where, first off, dropping potions on the ground can just be nice, so you have a little bit of extra potions if you feel like you need it. Additionally, if you want to make any space in your inventory, you totally can. You can put some potions over here just to make some more room. And do so much. Again, if I'm like, ooh, I want more space here as well, I can, you know, do that. Give myself a little bit more room, and feel free to drop as many potions as you feel like you will need. If you're like, I still don't feel comfortable with that, I still want to drop more potions, you can come out here and still drop more potions. These Ancients probably won't be the quickest kill. Corlick will obviously take a little bit of time there. Now the biggest thing is I'm going to really roll to just have the single immunities and not have them be insane, right? And by that I mean like Might Aura, Fanaticism Aura, extra fast on Talic. I don't want that. So I'm looking for resistance. Teleport, Fire Enchant, Cold Lightning. Can't do that since that's all of our damage. Might Aura is not a big thing that I want. Too many cold in there. Curse Spectral, Cold Lightning, can't do that. Fire Lightning, extra fast, extra strong. Lightning Enchanted, Cold Enchanted, I just don't feel like doing that. Too much extra fast stuff going on there. Magic res. Okay. This one could potentially be okay. And I'm gonna focus on this cold right now because I really want to kill Talic. And he is cold and lightning immune, or fire and lightning immune. Will also be good for killing Maddox, so. Corlick is really kind of the least worrisome of all of them. So I don't really mind saving him for last and just having our lightning there. But Talic is definitely the most annoying. And if we would like, we can lower resist him as well, just to make it a little bit faster for us. You can, of course, low res all of them. But still, main focus for me is Talic. In the end, became a cold source with some lightning. Yeah, I mean, I kind of botched the build up a little bit. I'm actually thinking I'll go back and respec after this and try and get it a little more lightning focused. But even still, we were going to have to use Frozen Orb. And like I said, I'd rather kill off Talic and Madoc than Corlic first, so I would still have been using Frozen Orb first anyways, rather than lightning.
I can't carry anymore.
A little bit more damage in. There we go. Get the lower res off one more time. So yeah, you really kind of learn the mods that you like to fight.
Hey Mr. Llama, can you say if you kids don't be quiet I'm going to turn this minivan around right now.
You kids don't be quiet. I'm gonna turn this minivan around right now. How's that? Did they listen? Alright, perfect. So now we'll lower resist. And just go for some lightning. And honestly, you can see, like, the lightning has some pretty good damage to it here. When you mix it with low resist, it's actually really nice. So
Impossible.
no, I have enough fire res. I should be good. Just keep it on him and try and get a few good hits. Be a little careful of his curse. Like I say, with Corlic, the nice thing is you can pretty much just run away and dodge his hits pretty easily. Kind of has a long wind up and stuff, so it's not bad. I almost wouldn't mind dying to the fire enchant explosion. But I'd be curious how it would function. Okay, another point lightning mastery. More right there. And ancients. Dunzo.
I am overburdened.
How easy was that? Wasn't bad at all, man.
Join my army of the dead.
Cheers, guys. Learned some new tricks today.
Nice. And now we're just teleporting around. If you want to stop and kill some of this stuff, again, you do have a nice mix of skills, so it definitely gives you more freedom to stop and kill some things. Souls can be extremely scary. Always highly recommended as well that you get the waypoint here. I would not want to kill on that level, souls and beetles and stuff. I say, nah, I'm okay. We'll just move forward. And go to level 3, and then the throne. And again, we should be able to handle a lot of combinations of mobs here. Which is the nice part. And I really do like the mix and match of lightning.
Move.
Thank you, SM Dot. And just slowly line them up. And before I clean that, there was some stuff out here I wanted to go kill. So there's some might auras and things, and in the event that I need a little bit of space, I do actually want to have a little space back here for myself.
Impossible.
Also a thresher, one open socket, rip. Perfect. And now we'll go ahead and clear this out. Nice and easy. I'd say Enigma, Infinity, and are the first two things I like to do with the Burr Rune. COH is kind of a third.
I can't.
Nice thing with lightning is it also does have that range on it, which ends up usually being a little bit more helpful.
Join my army of the dead.
Any way to mass assign stat points on console? Can you ask your dev team to implement that llama?
I don't think there is. I think it's just really slow, right? Now wave 2, we're definitely going to want to do a little dragging. And I like to kill these guys down here. And the reason is because then they're not going to get resurrected up there, which is a lot nicer. So if you can bring them down towards the bottom, it will be a lot smoother overall for you. Of course, we can still drop low resist and mix and match these some health really fast.
Hello.
Yeah, and this character, like I said, I built it slightly more into the cold, which was kind of my fault. But it will grow more and more into lightning. Again, I'm only level 66, and every point that I get there, every level up, every quest point I go get, everything like that will continue to push this character more and more towards lightning. So we've already, I would say, seen it grow in some strength just from some slight stuff there. And just slowly, steadily, especially if we can drop the res and go for the long range. Now for Bartek, we're definitely going to want to focus on using Frozen Orb. Everybody else, you can kind of mix and match again. But I mean, this character is really playing quite nicely. The lightning damage is slightly less than I want, and the cold damage is probably slightly more than I want, considering the lightning build. But otherwise, I definitely feel like if I shifted, 10 of those points over towards lightning, we'd be in a really good spot. Shaco? I know, not even a Griffin's, right? So unlucky. And having resistances here is like night and day helpful. I don't like it, player. And continue lightning mastery and vitality. Get some statics in while we can. And there we go, we actually got a cold immune lister, so definitely helps having some cold damage on these guys just to slow them down. Okay. Nice and slow and steady. This is a tough wave, for sure. Why not skip? We can skip if we'd like, but I'm trying to, on the guided playthrough, not be all about skipping around. One more minion. Aye, the magic resistant. So annoying.
I can't.
Oh, a white thresher too. That'd be a great thing to take and use the socket quest on and just try and make like an obedience or something if we had those runes. I just need a rune, right? I have Foul. Could also just roll it, see what we can get. But there you go. Able to take down Lister. And we move to Boss Man. Oh no, I got rid of my hell.
I need mana. Not enough mana.
Get him. Still not gonna be the strongest boss killer. That does okay.
I need mana. I need mana.
Once you level up, she really starts to do super well with killing bosses.
Salutation.
And Charge Bolt is actually also super good for boss killing at the end. When you get it like maxed out and stuff. Yeah.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
If there's a clone and you don't want to fight the clone, just go far away, couple screens away.
Good afternoon.
You can go to town, get potions, whatever, but just make sure you wait 8 seconds. And then the clone will disappear. And all of the minion dudes as well.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
And like we say, it's a lightning sorceress, so let's end with the lightning.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
GG. Bale is done. And our lightning sorceress is complete. How neat was that? Give yourselves the clap. Like I say,
Join
I
my
probably
army
spec'd a
of the
little wrong. I'll actually go to Nightmare here.
Congratulations on defeating Ball, Adventurer. You've unlocked a one-time purchase of Shaco. Only $1.99.
Wow.
Join my army of
Great.
the dead.
Clap.
So I'd probably go more like this.
Join my army of the dead.
Clap, 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 clap.
And then, you know, rock like too many. I'd probably run more along these lines. Just have that little bit of extra damage.
Join my army of the dead.
Clap.
then obviously for, you know, these kinds of mobs, you're still going to use Frozen Orb if you have the Lightning enchant, but otherwise, lightning damage ain't bad on it. And of course you can use lower res to really help it out. Now it's still very linear, which is its, you know,
Congrats,
big
Professor
issue, but
Llama.
definitely some decent damage now. So that's probably a little bit better combination if you want to be more in the lightning. Thank you, Chanovsky. But yeah, so now we can go and take a look at the final stuff. Here's our final build. Just enough strength to wear our gear. Everything else in vitality. 1 point, 1 point. We went all through that.
Give me
I've max
AL,
frozen,
give me
1
an A,
point
give
there.
me AM, give me AA.
Max, max, and then I'll start maxing these two, and of course 1, 1, 1. And then for our gear, we have Spirit. We got a Shaco, though of course Lore Helm is what we were using prior. Went ahead and put a Thol Rune in as well, just to make sure we get complete max res. Though you can see we'd be at 68 cold res without the Thol Rune, so we could totally put like a Perfect Ruby or something in there. 10 FCR, 38 cold res, Ancient's Pledge, Smoke, 23 light, 20 fire res gloves. These are actually a nice find. 23 fire res ring, 9 FCR with 12 fire, 13 mana. So we crafted this, which was super nice, so we could get to the 64 breakpoint. 10 FCR ring, and then 20 24s. Hit recovery, res, cold, and life. And then, of course, we also had Splendor over here, Stealth, Iratha's, 33 life, Sorceress, Taurash's Eye. You know, just a variety of things that we kind of shifted around between as the run went on. So it was really nice. Yeah, we found the Shaco off Hell Andariel. Pretty wild. But yeah, a lot of stuff that we just kind of grabbed along the way, cube along the way, use along the way for whatever fun. And you know, you just never know. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna roll on the belt and shift it all up, and it's super fun. So anyways, I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoyed playing through the game with some lightning. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, YouTube. Peace.